Hello, hello, and hello. Three times the charm, I guess. um, so today I wanted to talk about protecting your energy, and I think it's important because I used this analogy before on the channel when it comes to being alone is probably probably a trait of disciplines rather than a trait of surrendering to bullshit. And we will continue to have this conversation on the channel a couple of times in many different forms. And I truly believe that a lot of the challenges you face as a creative or anybody who wants to have an impact on the world, whether you're a content creator, maybe you make music, art, an athlete, a businessman, a doctor, a lawyer, a plumber, even like a correctional facility officer, or maybe a person that's instrumental in developing young men. A lot of the challenges that you face in this world are pretty parallel to the challenges that you face in everyday life. Like, protecting my energy has been quite possibly one of the best decisions that I ever made in my life. I decided to start up another YouTube channel back in December of last year, and now that channel is almost at 1,000 subscribers. I am extremely grateful for everything. Like, the support that I received on that channel is insane, and I am extremely grateful, and it's extremely crazy. But a little bit of a plug. Probably won't mention the channel until I blow up a little bit more, and then people can link the two channels. But that's besides the point. I'm thankful, and I'm expecting this channel to blow up as well. Just want to make that known. But the reason I bring this topic up today is because with anything good in life, there's bound to be niggas willing to pull you down. It's kind of like crabs in a bucket. Like like any gang affiliated culture or hood environments. And I'm sorry that I'm supposed to be educated where I feel like I'm disrespecting myself in my own race when I talk about this, but any form of culture, like especially in black low income environments, it's kind of like crabs in a bucket in a sense. And when somebody gets out, there is bound to be 1,200 motherfuckers willing to pull that nigga back down. And while the in like bro, even with the even with my other channel, like, even though it's overwhelmingly positive, like extremely positive, there's going to be some negative reactions too. That's just a given. I think the it's so interesting that in the like works, and I'm pretty sure that this video probably in a few weeks is gonna blow up too, and then people are gonna comment some really nice things, provoking comments. Yet there's still gonna be some jackasses who just are higher than thou or high and mighty, and I just be very quick to ignore those people. I just put them on blast. I leave their comment up because everybody should have the right to free speech on my channel unless you post something incredibly crazy. But even if you have this protective bubble around you, you have to have thick skin. And I had I had a conversation with multiple people before we started off on YouTube. Sorry, some food is coming up from when I ate dinner. But I had the conversation with a few other YouTubers about this topic, and I talked to a person with a few thousand subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, and someone that is on their way to 1 million. And the thing that they keep repeating in their heads is, for one, commit to the commitment as consistency, but two, have thick skin. And I'm gonna paraphrase this. I got the exact quote. Be comfortable with your in, and be comfortable with yourself, and be comfortable with whatever space you're in that moment, because people have opinions that later change in life because of the circle, right? And that's another thing. The people that come around in our lives that are meant to impact us, whether it's for the worse or for the better, you're gonna have several jackasses, several bitches that lie on your name, several girls that cheat on you before you find a loyal, non-backstabbing, and even they that fuck, I'm stuttering like a motherfucker. Even they have lapses of loyalty and judgment, and even they can slip up at times. Like, even then, like, even making this video may not be something that's convenient for a lot of people. Um, but at the end of the day, you can't mix business with pleasure, but some of us tend to sometimes because we're human. But you have to have thick skin, and dealing with something like that or the equivalent of it in your life, it can still get to you. It isn't, it doesn't it, right? You can be the most positive motherfucker. You can have a great energy. You can have a upbeat attitude like every single day. I think there's this guru on TikTok. I think he's 34, has a white girlfriend, traveling around the world, working out, all that stuff. And people, just for a post on TikTok, people are so quick to judge him in such a negative way when he's basically just living his life. You know, everybody has those lapses, like, where you could be overwhelmingly positive, and then all of a sudden, just like that, one bad thing happens, and it's like a house of cards that comes tumbling down, and second guesses your good energy and the good things start happening to you because of that negative thing. And maybe it's reverse karma in a way. And the reason that I start saying protect your energy, because it's so important to do so, because when these things happen, when turmoil happens, when your back is against the wall, it's so much easier when anything bad happens in your life. It's so easy for human nature to just get the best of us. It's easy for us to cave in and say, "Oh man, just let society's opinion on us tear us down." And you know, my dad was earlier today. He had to sit in traffic, and even then, I had encounters with a few people on public transportation, and some people on public transportation can be annoying as fuck to deal with, right? Like, bro, it's so easy to be frustrated and pissed off and mad. Like, everything is going like that. And, like, I can recall a few moments my senior year in high school where I probably felt that frustration and feeling like observing that emotion and negativity, and just festering anger and frustration, like from a bird's eye view. And I think the reason I've been getting better on how to control those emotions, and I've been able to catch myself in these moments, is because I've been protecting my energy in other ways. What do I mean by that? Well, recently it's about realizing two things. There might be a third that I may pin in the comment in the description below, but I'm gonna tell you the two main things is to stop oversharing shit. Right? You ever heard the quote? You have two ears to listen and one mouth to speak. That should symbolize common sense, and a lot of people don't possess common sense. So when you get a good opportunity, when you get a positive deal, when you link up with a job, when you get hired, you should move in silence because you should not tell other people what you are doing. If they see for themselves, it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta be closed minded and shit. Not everything should be about the other person's business. Shut up. Stop oversharing. You know what I mean? Like, bro, people are just so quick to overshare, especially on social media. An example of this would be like Steph Curry and Aisha Curry. All the shit that came out about all the publicity about the relationship, and their relationship has been in jeopardy for many, many years, but even then they still managed to keep afloat. Everything that has been said about the relationship was from Aisha unprovoked. And now that's out in the atmosphere. And even if people were to believe that she's changed and all that stuff, it's like, bro, you're just chat like you're selfish. What are you doing, bro? Um like not everything is meant to be overshared, you know what I mean? Because when you overshare, it leads to my next point. It leads to my next point. People don't care. And what I mean by this is people don't care about how you think, what you feel, how you move, what your morals are. They don't give a shit about none of that. They don't care. If it's within their power to make it up the mountain, they will push your head down and do anything by any means necessary. And even I, I'm not proud of doing. I wasn't. I, I'll admit right now, I'm not. I had moments that were not my proudest. I stole, robbed, done crazy stuff. But in the midst of that, I done some crazy stuff that had it not been for God, I would have been in jail right now. But even then, I thought about it and I snapped back into reality. Ryan, what are you doing? You got to stop this because once you open up that door, are you prepared for the consequences of your actions? What and what if you even get away with it? There's this thing called karma, and it bites you back 10 times harder than when you did it to hurt other people. But people do not care about you. They do not like you. If they liked you, they would ride or die for you. They don't like you. They like what you got. They like the cars. They like the money. They like the house. They like the wife. They like the kids. But they didn't see the internal struggle though. They didn't see what you had to go through though. And that's why protecting our energy has been so important. And I've been praying to God a little bit more and talking about manifestation. Uh I'm at a point in my life where I'm just trying to visualize and daydream about more positive things, and it's probably not a negative. Um, but I go to God in prayer. I visualize stuff. I'm more optimistic. There's life and death in the power of the tongue, so I speak it. I try to speak it into existence, and even like manifestation is not bad. Like God talks about manifestation quite frequently. I just try and I just try to visualize more positive things in my life, and maybe I'm hopeful for every, or maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm more forward thinking for what I wanted to use in my life. Now I'm living in a state of all like having peace as of now. But when I get the money, will I be able to handle it? Will my mentality be the same as when I was broke? That's the thing about this entire situation, is that you cannot be two-faced. You cannot change for anybody. So that's been helping me a bit more. Just being positive, being an optimist about everything. Just my overall state has been less about outside factors surrounding me and thinking to myself, let me try to get something out of the situation. What could I have done better? What could I have done more of? Did I procrastinate more? If I procrastinated, it probably would be a better time to cut back on that. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm speaking a lot like a motherfucker in this video. Y'all ain't gonna like me today. It's cold in the gang. But feeling like, feeling good, feeling like I have everything I need now. And I don't need to be rich. I don't need to be powerful. I just need to be me. So that has helped me a lot. Alongside mindfulness as well. And I used to be someone that when people would talk about mindfulness and meditation, I would hear it and I would always be intrigued by it, like 12, 13, 14 years old, but I never, well, I have tried it around 14, 15 years old during the pandemic, but I was never really a meditative type of person. The last time I tried meditating was when I was like 16. Strangely enough, it was because it was meditating for a woman to come into my life, and boy did I have boy did I attract some woman. Yeah, that didn't end well. um and then I realized in that how stubborn I was when it came to these things, because you start practicing, you start meditating for a little bit, you start practicing for a little bit, you start practicing meditation and just becoming more self-aware and more socially aware about everything, and you're doing it in a good way. You're taking care of your priorities, you're working out more, you're you're sleeping more, you're getting your work done, you're doing everything that you can to reach that next step. And even now, I would go to the gym, I would create content, I would stop going, I would be in a meditative state. I would just cut off my phone and just look up at the ceiling and just meditate from there. Like, it's just, to me, meditation doesn't really need to be about closing your eyes or doing like some yoga pose, right? Like, meditation is just simple as just staring up at the ceiling, being silent, and just hearing stuff. And maybe like listening to the outer voices, just the bees humming, the trees swaying, birds chirping, like the wind blowing, like and in those times, like, I would be out of my own body. It would be like a high that I never experienced before. I don't know where my mind would be. I just wouldn't be there. Like, I would be in nirvana. I would be running like 30 minutes, like a mile run, and I I'll just be running, and just I just count my steps on what are those things called, where you count like how many steps you get in a day. Like, I just try to be present with my steps until I go to the gym, and like, hearing this, like, how you might wonder, how is this going to help me? How is this going to change my life? It's just grounding. It builds discipline, if that makes any sense. It grounds you in the present moment, so you can focus on the present moment and not be so caught up on what you did back then or what you're doing right now. your mind isn't running, and even when you're manifesting, and it- like, what do we pray for? Coming to my soul, the meditation of my heart, be acceptable in my soul, in my sight. O Lord, my strength, my redeemer. That is essence for a better life. Like, people get so scared about meditation and manifestation when manifestation is through God. You talk to God, and I'm aware that there's other gods in the world, and I'm not trying to sway people into Christianity, but my viewpoint is Christianity. But whatever God you believe in, you have to go to him yourself. You have to confide in him yourself. Like, there's still a manifestation even when you're visualizing. There's still a presence to be felt in that. There's a presence to feel the your future endeavors, not as a thing to worry about, but as a thing of excitement. But the thing is that it feels good in the moment, and it at the same time feels a bit weird. And I think once you start it, like, once you hear it, maybe you'll be exposed to all these things and all these concepts and ideas that you never heard before, and it starts to you start to be you start to be burdened by your own thoughts, and you kind of be like, what are you talking about? And it starts to make more sense if you practice it. It starts to make more sense when you cut off the phone and just start running, and you have time to think to yourself and have time to yourself and start to think in your own head. You Because even your thoughts can be a pattern of music. Like, just thinking to myself right now, I can just listen to a song just by thinking about it. And I know it sounds crazy. I really think that's the best way to enjoy this kind of stuff. Enjoy the techniques, whether it be manifestation or meditation or breathing techniques. Like, that's another thing that I've been meaning to get into recently, is just breathing and fighting the urge to go at 100 miles an hour in some areas. Not all areas, but to, like, in some areas I got to be more mindful. I got to be more lax. I got to be more present, not ignorant to certain stuff. And it helps you. It really does help you. Um cuz we all have that, you could be having a good day and something happens, you're like, "Oh my," you're like, "Fuck, dude. Fuck, man. This sucks, man." Like, it's you know what I mean? And it's just one of those days. It's I mean, all of us humans, we're all gonna have to go through it eventually. Like, even when I'm I'm it's like, I don't even know if there's like 10-year-olds watching this video, but you're gonna go through it eventually. Preteen, like, you're gonna go through it. If you're an adult, you've already gone through it in some small way. But in the past, like, because of the fact that I didn't have any intelligence, like emotional intelligence, it's just the simple shit that would have never bothered me now set me off back then. And I like, I would be angry. I would be settling on it for like hours and hours and hours. And it's as stupid as it sounds, but now it's just like, okay, I get frustrated by my own situation. I recognize my own frustration. I and how it was caused by something external that I have no control over, and just realizing how, like, and just trying to combat this feeling before it even happens. And I think recognizing this and just realizing how so much of our emotions get impacted by external forces, it almost empowers you in a sense that you're almost quicker to be like, okay, it's not, it's out of your own control. It's not in your power. It's out of your hands. Just get it together. Just snap out of it. It's not that big of a deal. And obviously people that could be going through things that are even worse than the shit that I've gone through in the past several years. But even then, you can always choose how to respond to those things. Even when it's difficult, even when life gets tough, even when life is really pinning you up against the wall, when you're in this rut, man, I'm coughing too much, bro. Yeah, it's coming, bro. I may have to end this shit quick. You may you may get handed a bad deck of cards for a week, a month, a year, but it's how you respond to that that really truly matters. It's always your choice to do that, and that's the least of what I've been trying to do ever since I graduated high school is just protecting my own energy and saying, okay, life may throw some curveballs at me. You may get frustrated, you may get annoyed, you may feel like you're just having a really bad day for or a really bad week or a really bad month, but how quickly you respond to that, how quickly you manage to recover from that is up to you. And realizing that fact now is truly a empowering experience that I would tell my 13-year-old self, my 14-year-old self, the one that has been suicidal and planned on ending his own life. Just becoming more mindful of the things you're doing or positive visualization, whatever your technique is. It could be prayer, it could be meditation, it could be Tai Chi, it could be talking to friends, talking to good moral people who truly care about you. If anything you can do to help yourself get out of that slump, it helps you navigate the chaos of life, because I think we can all agree on that, right? Life is absolutely fucked. Life is chaotic as hell. There's always going to be multiple different things that are out of your control. There's always going to be something is always going to piss you off. It's going to push your buttons, but you're always given the opportunity to let it go and to rise above it and not be as bothered by it and to not be affected by it as you would be in the past, right? Again, I'm speaking from a place where sometimes, like in high school, I would get angry and that feeling would stay there. It wouldn't go. I couldn't let it go. And even now, I can't let go of some shit. And once you get to the point where you just learn to just brush things off, let them go, relax, not take it to heart, like not take yourself so seriously. Life, at least to me, becomes a lot more fun and relaxing. And you would be surprised at the positive shit, the good things you start to receive from God, the good things you start to receive in your life. The more you start to let go of the negative, the more you start you the less you let things bother you, you'll be surprised how much good starts to come into your life when you do this. And when you just release it, and it's easier said than done. I'm not going to sit here that it's been and say and tell you and bullshit you into saying that it's an easy practice, man. I'm only 20 years old and I've been working on this ever since I reached my teens. Like, I've been working at this basically for as long as I can remember, and I still have so much growing up to do and so much to learn, so much to work on, so much to improve on, so much to look forward to that I'm exciting about. I'm truly excited about because my life has been on an like on an uphill battle, and doing YouTube and getting back into this YouTube again is incomparable to anything else I ever done in my entire life. And I know that things are gonna get weirder and weirder, but I'll enjoy every second of it. I'm a baby when it comes to truly this channel, but I just thought to myself, why not start learning today? Why not start today? Why not start learning to let go? Start learning on how to protect your energy. Start learning to stop letting the world get to you. Let the world go. Stop letting people get to you. Stop letting things get to you. Why not? What do you have to lose? That's what I have to say. But yeah, this has gone on random tangents now. Um I hope it reaches whoever needs it, but I'm just going to get off the mic and go to sleep because I have a long day ahead of me tomorrow. It's just another day, another chance to improve myself, get closer to God, do everything I can to keep my head up and stay positive in the world. And I hope you guys find your purpose in this world. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys later.